The ancient texts tell us Ela was what she was because. No, wait, what he was. Wait, no, let's start over. Ela was a princess who was also a prince, the mother and father of one of the greatest dynasties of our land, the Chandravamshis. In a world of binaries, this or that, how did someone who was one and the other, both and neither, happen to be? A story, a sprinkling of magic. Namaskaram. Welcome to Stories and Magic with me, Mahita. Come with me today to a story found in different versions in the Bhagavata Purana, the Devi Bhagavatam, and the Mahabharata, among others. This is the story of Ela, the gender fluid princess who was also Sudyumna, the prince. Vaivastha Manu, the son of Surya and Sharanyu, was a king of great name and fame with enormous amount of wealth. But regardless of the territories conquered, the thousands of lamps that lit up their palace, or the laughter that flowed through the homes of their subjects, Manu and his queen Shraddha were not happy. They had no children and they both felt this loss deeply. Finally, they appealed to the great Rishi Vashishta, their Kulaguru, who offered prayers to the gods Mitra Varuna, and the wish of the royal couple was granted. It could have been a happily ever after story, but for the fact that the king wanted a son to rule the kingdom after him, and the queen, a daughter, to bring laughter and light into their lives. The day arrived when the queen went into the birthing chambers, attended to by her nurse and the other women of the palace, and the whole kingdom seemed to hold its breath in anticipation. As the mother's cries quietened, the baby's voice rose, sweet and strong, to fill the halls. The queen's nurse quickly draped a cloth of the finest cotton around the little one and sent the other attendants away, saying, "Take word to the king, a daughter has been born to him." She wiped the sweat off the queen's brow, propped her up on soft pillows, and brought a golden tumbler filled with warm decoction of healing herbs to the queen's lips. "From now, my lady," she said softly, "the little princess will be in your care and mine alone, nobody else's." Ela, as a happy, bubbly little child was named, grew up accomplished in music and dance, hunting and riding, pleasing both her mother and father, for a while. Then the king, as with all kings, wanted more. He wanted a boy, remember? A son to rule after him. "How did this happen?" he asked Vashishta. "We offered prayers for a male heir. Do something." Vashishta, in all of his wisdom, knew the secret desire of the queen, but summoned her nurse anyway and said, "Tell me about our princess." "The princess has seen 12 times 12 moons," Queen Shraddha's nurse said. "I have seen this once before, and in accordance with that, her transformation has started. Her voice is deeper and her..." She paused and then with some difficulty continued. "She's showing the marks of a man. From my experience, I predict she will soon be the prince her father desires." The old woman anguished, threw herself at the Rishi's feet. What will become of this child who is neither prince nor princess, and maybe both? "Bring her up the best you can," Vashishta said. "She is destined for greatness that will be spoken of for as long as men walk the earth." And also, he muttered almost to himself, for much personal torment. At the court of Manu, Vashishta spoke soothing words with veiled meanings. He ended with a blessing saying, "Your prayers and your queen's prayers and mine will not go in vain," and he left. The princess soon grew up to be a strapping young man and was crowned Yuvaraja and given the name Sudyumna. A good ruler, loved by his subjects, feared by his enemies of the kingdom. Sudyumna's life was not destined to be a simple one. One day, Sudyumna went out into the forest with his attendants hunting deer. What is it with kings and their needs to hunt deer? Like so many before and after him, Sudyumna's hunt too was not destined to end in victory. Frantic to escape death, the doe raced into Kumaravana, the grove forbidden to men, that private spot where Shiva and Parvati retired to when they sought pleasure. And instantly, as was decreed by the Devi, Sudyumna and his men were transformed into women. Even their horses were not spared. And from that moment, they did not know themselves to be anything other than women. Sudyumna, once more woman, was once more Ila, the hauntingly beautiful Ila, high breast, small waist, hair a river of dark silk, skin gleaming gold, striking enough to have Buddha, the son of the moon, fall in love with her. And from their union was born ILA-Pururava, or Pururavas, the son of Ila, the first of the Chandravamshi rulers. Outwardly a woman, in spirit and thoughts a man, Ila turned to her Kulaguru Vashishta for help and was directed to pray to the Mahadeva. The blessings of Shiva are often given in uncaring abundance. You remember Draupadi? She asked for one glorious husband and was blessed with 5. And Gandhari, who was given the boon of not 1 or 2 powerful sons, but 100. And now Ila, wanting to be a man, was blessed to be like Ardhanarishwara Shiva himself. Ila was granted maleness for 6 months of the year and femaleness for the rest. But how often has man been able to see, understand, or appreciate the generosity of the gods, especially when it makes him different from everyone around him? Ila, now again Sudyumna the king, went on to father more celebrated children, but was not happy. He loathed being Sudyumna 1 month, ruling the kingdom wisely and well, and then being Ila the next month, cloistered in the quiet of the women's chambers of the palace. Many were the nights he awoke, drenched in the sweat of his mind's efforts to free his maleness or his femaleness from the trap of a body that didn't feel right. Many were the days he was tormented by the barbed whispers of his subjects, unused to the gender fluidity of their king, who was also their queen. Sudyumna, finally exhausted, handed his kingdom over to his brother Ikshvaku to hold on as regent till Pururavas came of age and retired into the forest. Ila, as Sudyumna was more popularly referred to, was praised as being a just and righteous king, was celebrated as being both mother and father of the Chandravamshi dynasty. But was she happy being what she was? Both man and woman? She wanted to be a man. How did she feel about the gift of femaleness? Did she long for the arrival of the next moon that would transform her, and then curse it for bringing her the energies of the other, unwanted gender? We know her story, but this we don't know. Until today, we still struggle to accept differences that exist beyond our norm. Will we change? This too, we don't know.